This is an overview of my mod Forbidden Tinkers, which is an add-on to the Tinkers Construct mod, as well as my other mod, Mythic Tinkers. While Mythic Tinkers is designed to be balanced with vanilla Tinkers Construct, this mod is designed to work with larger mod packs where the tools outscale vanilla Tinkers. To get all the features out of this mod, you'll have to set it up with a custom data pack. However, some features are available without any setup. Another thing to note is that the features in this mod are more experimental. Vanilla Tinkers is already pretty well balanced, so I wouldn't recommend using this mod with your existing worlds if they are long-term survival worlds, as it kind of breaks a lot of that balance. Now, if you do like the balance in this mod and the features in this mod, and you think they work well with your mod pack, then go ahead and use it. So the first edition, and the one I think most people will be interested in, is the new material Champium. Champium is designed to be an endgame material that can be used on any tool. And if we look at the stats, we can see that they're pretty good, but there are better materials to use. And that's because the real power with Champium comes from its trait. Its trait makes it so when you apply upgrades or abilities to a tool, the only upgrade that actually uses a slot is the first one. So if we have a Champium sword with 3 upgrades, and we apply the sharpness upgrade to it, it will use 1 upgrade to apply it. But then future applications of this will it will not use an upgrade slot. So this will continue to be 2 upgrades, and you can just apply all the way to cap. Now this only works with materials that have a cap, and that's because if it didn't, then we could just apply those upgrades on infinitely. This is designed so your tool can have lots of modifiers on it while scaling to the power of other tools in other mods in a mod pack. You're still designing unique tools, but you can make them much more powerful and experiment with a wide range of upgrades. You can obtain Champium by finding Champium forges in the underground deep slate layer. These forges will have a unique recipe when found, and you can see that this one requires carrots. You can put all the required items into the forge, and you can see that they are accepted, and this bar will go up. Now, you're going to need to have some sort of automation, some sort of setup with this, otherwise it will take quite a bit. So I'm going to set up this hopper here, and then put this chest, and you can see that these are filled in automatically. Once the forge fills up all the way, you'll get 1 Champium nugget. Now, again, this is designed to be used in a mod pack, so you'll definitely need some sort of resource farm, some sort of automation. Otherwise, this is just going to take far too long. I'll also mention that this is currently sort of a bit of a beta, so these recipes, if we get feedback that they are a bit too harsh, maybe they're a bit too easy to obtain, then we can and probably will change these in the future. Once you get enough Champium, you will need the Styx fuel from Mythic Tinkers, and you just put these in here, and they'll just melt down, and then you can just use it in any tool. Another thing, the Champium forges only have a limited number of uses, so once you use them all up, they will break, and you won't be able to use them anymore. The texture will change to signify that it has broken, and it kind of is just useless. Something else you can do is if you have a pickaxe with Champium as the head, or any other mining tool, you can actually mine the blocks that make up the structure. And these blocks are called bedrock bricks. Now, you can't mine these normally, so it just won't break. And if you place them, if they're placed by a player, then you can actually still mine them. It's just very slow. And this is to prevent advanced players from picking up these bricks and putting them outside someone's house and blocking them in. It lets it so players can actually break them eventually. If the forge is broken, you can break it with a pickaxe, and when it does break, it will drop a lot of experience. So just give it a moment. And there we go. The next feature is called Tinker's Diamonds. So these can be found in the underground layer in the overworld, and they get more common the deeper you go. Mining one will always only give you 1 Tinker's Diamond, regardless of what level of fortune is used. Now, Tinker's Diamonds can be used to apply the augmentation modifier to a tool. If you remember embossments from the 1.12 version, then this should be very familiar. You just put in a tool part of the material that you want to apply and a Tinker's Diamond, and then you can give it the augmentation of that material. And that will just add all of the traits from that material onto your tool. Now, you can only apply one augmentation per tool. And if you want to reapply it, that will cost another Tinker's Diamond. The next feature can only be accessed with a custom data pack or in Creative. These are Forbidden Tomes, and Forbidden Tomes are books with a modifier attached to them. So this one is Sharpness, but there are Forbidden Tomes for pretty much every modifier that can be scaled. When you apply a Forbidden Tome to a tool, it will get the overloaded modifier. And what this does is it doubles the effects of upgrades for the given modifier. So this tool with Sharpness 5, when you overload it with Sharpness, it will then get Sharpness X. And this kind of lets you give it Sharpness or whatever upgrade or ability that it has beyond what was previously capable. So Sharpness only goes up to 5, but now you can bring it up to 10. You can also only apply one Forbidden Tome to an individual tool. So if I wanted to give this like haste, then I'd have to reapply it, and that would remove the overloaded for Sharpness. Now, there are a few other modifiers that I added. One of them is the honking modifier. So this is obtained by adding a clown nose to your tool. And clown noses you can't update them naturally, so you'll have to find a way to add them via a data pack, probably in a loot table. So once you add it to the tool, mining any blocks or performing other actions will play a honking sound effect. The other one is an ability, which you can get by adding 2 hoppers, 2 ender slime balls, and an Eye of Ender to your tool, and this is called Wormhole. What Wormhole does is it will teleport all harvested materials directly to your inventory. Finally, we have the Disposing modifier. So this is added by with 2 hoppers and a cactus, and this will take up 1 upgrade slot. And what this does is any item that's kind of considered trash, so this includes stuff like dirt, rotten flesh, cobblestone, stuff that you'll get a lot of while mining or just kind of going about, will be disposed of when you harvest it. So before we were getting lots of dirt when mining, but now you can see that the dirt will disappear. So this is good for inventory management and just making sure that you filter out any sort of useless materials from your mining. Finally, there are 2 more hidden modifiers that do not have a recipe. So if you want to use these, you'll need to add the recipes for them into a data pack. These are Heart Dropping and Feasting. Heart Dropping has multiple levels, and Feasting only has 1. Feasting works similar to Mending, where if you're holding your tool and you pick up experience, it will, instead of actually healing your tool, it will refill your hunger. So you can see that my hunger is getting refilled as I hold my tool. The other one, Heart Dropping, gives a % chance when you slay a mob that mob will drop a heart. So this one didn't, and it is a 10% chance per level of heart dropping. So let's just spawn in a bunch of chickens. And one of these is bound to drop a heart. Okay, there we go. It drops a heart, and when I pick it up, you can see I get healed 1 heart. So that's it. Again, this mod is more experimental and will probably not be for everyone, but if you like making powerful tools without having to use something like Tinker's tool leveling, I'd encourage giving this mod a shot. I'd also like to hear any feedback and ideas you might have, so feel free to leave them in the comments below.